Greetings.
Welcome to the DM's rant.
Okay, here's the star of our show, this Conan comic book. As you can see here, this is Marvel. This is 25 cents. This was printed in 1974 when I was only 2 years old, living in a little farm in Oak Hill, Ohio. Boy, those were the days. So I wasn't even old enough to appreciate comics in 1974 when this was printed. But I wanted to go through some of these fun ads I found in here, because these ads, I remember seeing these ads even when I was older and was able to get into comics in my Eerie magazines and my comic books. My first comic book love was Mike Grail's The Warlord, Travis Morgan, and his Earth core world that he always adventured around in. But, so we're going to go through here and look at some of these ads, and they're pretty hilarious. Some of them's really funny. So, let's move through time, shall we? It seems as if it was only yesterday. So here's our first one. This is actually just the very first page. It's not even on the page, it's on the back of the cover. And we've got the Olympic card sales. I remember seeing those, and when I was a youngster, we didn't have video games and stuff like these young people today do. So to occupy our time, we spent our time outdoors, sometimes indoors, but we had actual physical toys that we would play with, and our imaginations just went crazy. Thus was born the RPG phenomenon. But anyway, that's a rabbit hole. So you've got all these prizes that you could win, and I remember laying on my mom's bed, looking out the window on a rainy day, looking at some of these old books. And I remember looking at these ads and these prizes for cash. You know, I used to envision myself going around selling this stuff. I never did, but of course in your imagination as a kid you're always successful and you're able to get the prize you want. But you know what, this reminds me, I never thought about it at the time, but this reminds me now of those cheesy popcorn salesmen that or fudge salesmen that come to schools and they con these poor kids into selling like 2 bags of popcorn for 50 bucks. And the school gets like $1 of it or whatever it is. But that's another story. But if you look too, another thing is this kind of shows you what kids did enjoy in 1974. There's a lot of cool things on this page. There's notice there's no video games on here. Some of these things are sort of electronic. We have a radio. We have a camera there. Some walkie-talkies. It's pretty low-tech stuff now, but back then that stuff was the bomb. Boy, that was exciting stuff to look at. I got online and I actually found a thread where a guy was talking about that he did sell this when he was a kid and did fairly well, and he says one of the prizes that he got off here was some sea monkeys. If you're too young to know what the sea monkeys were, I'll let you Google that on your own time, but that was pretty fun stuff as well. I'm not even sure what a sea monkey is. I just know that they send it to you, you put it in water, and supposedly these little creatures. Well, here's one too. I used to look at this, and I remember asking my mom on several occasions if I could sell Grit magazine. Because, look here, if you go door to door, you could get $2 to $10 cash each week. Because you sell it for 20 cents a copy, and you get to keep, if you're this poor schmuck, you get to keep 7 cents out of that 20. In the 70s, hey, that would have made a kid pretty happy. One more thing about Grit magazine. Today we would call this exploitation. Back then we called it, a growing learning experience that builds character. Oh boy, there's a whole bunch of interesting things on this page. There's the Kung Fu Karate. You rarely see these two terms used together, and there's good reason for that. But Kung Fu Karate, so you can become an expert at Kung Fu Karate. You can play the guitar in 7 days. Here's the one that I thought was very, very interesting. I mean, really, the PC police today would have a field day with this. They would go nuts. But think about what image this is portraying to these young boys that are looking through this comic book. You know, hypnotized with any television set, and oh, looky here, looky here. What do you think that's all about? Oh, and what's funny is if you zoom in on the fine print, it'll say, no prior hypnotic training required. So all you need is a TV set, and you can hypnotize people that look like her. To do what? To do what? Read comic books with you? I don't think so. That is bizarre. I love it. On this page, we see these ads here. We have a whole lot of interesting things on one page. You can get muscles quick if you send your money to this guy. You just clip these out and send them in the mail. That's how you did it back then, no email. What I thought was really funny about this page is up here, you have Kung Fu, deadlier than Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, or Karate. So you got all that going on up here. So, oh, this is the way to go. Down here on the exact same page, you have Karate, Judo Savat, Jiu-Jitsu, the greatest self-defense system known to man. So this is the best one, but this is the greatest known to man. Yeah, a lot of interesting things here. Locksmith, surveying. Hey, if you're a 10-year-old kid looking at a comic book, you can learn to be a surveyor. And look here. Look here. Enjoy an exciting romantic look. Impressive anytime. You can buy this kit. How much is that? That is for $3. Good grief. For $3, you get fake sideburns, eyebrows, and I would call that a goatee, but they're calling that a dyke. So I guess that's a dyke. But yeah, only $3. So hey, 10-year-old kid, you can wear this and pick up the chick on the other page that's dancing around hypnotized in front of her television set. Okay, but here's what we want to see that's the most interesting here. This ad is the most legit that I've been able to look at. I've kind of Googled some of these to see where they're at today and all that. This ad seems to be the most legit. And no, that's not Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller. That is actually Olympia, let me look close here. Charles Atlas. It's actually Charles Atlas himself in this ad. In his leopard bikini bottoms. Charles Atlas died in 1972, so he was actually deceased 2 years when this ad was placed in this comic. So he was already gone. But the company was still thriving because he had some business partners and friends that kind of kept it running. And from what I've been able to tell on the internet, this business is still going strong today. It's still a lucrative business. Of course, it's done mostly via internet nowadays. But it did tell me in the article, it said that today they still receive some of these clippings from old comic books in the mail. Hey, spend $3 to get the girls, or learn to hypnotize them with a television set. What else do we have here? Oh, looky there. How about that? Muscle Fighter 4. It's amazing. So here he is, and he's sending his money with the ad, and now this is him today. Beautiful, beautiful. What was I thinking when I was a kid? I should have sent $3. And there you have it, boys and girls. Just remember, keep your books off the table and keep reaching for the dice. Yahoo!